welcome to Cottonwood Hill Farms. Today we're going to be moving cows and digging a trench.
All right, everybody, so like Lakota said, we're going to be moving some cows today, and then we're also going to be digging a trench. And as you can kind of see, the weather has changed a little bit. We got some snow the other day. It was, I don't know, like 1.5 inches, I think is what we got, something like that.
And it was awesome.
Yeah, it was nice. It was fun, and it's been chilly too, which is I don't know, hasn't been too bad, I guess. It's that time of year. Today it's what is today? Today's the 29th of November, so to give you guys an idea. But yeah, so the cows, the fresh cows, they've got we had them on the alfalfa field there. They've got all that eaten down, and we've been having our hay quality is not as good as I was expecting, and so we're fighting to keep our production up at the moment. And so what we're doing is we're going to move them down. We're going to move them up to the next pasture, or I should say down the next pasture. There's some forage there that's left over because we didn't graze that. What would that be? I think a third time. So anyway, we're going to move them down one, let them eat that off. Plus it gets them a little bit closer to the barn, so they're not expending so much energy going back and forth. So that's kind of the plan. We're going to get them moved, get their hay feeder moved, and then yeah, then what we got going on is we're putting a new drain line in for the barn. We'll kind of show you guys once we get to that point what's going on there. So there we go. What? No, leave it on the top one.
Okay.
Just these 3 small posts. Can you pull them out?
No. Too tired, guys.
We got that fence rolled up. Lakota's up by the barn pushing the cows down. They've been hanging out in the lawn, the dry lawn, a lot lately. So I'm having them push them down to this new paddock. Anyway, I'm gonna grab I brought a bale down. I'm gonna move the hay feeder and put another bale in it and move it over here to this new paddock for them. So this was our south perimeter fence here. I'm going to unhook this for him. After he gets done pushing those cows down, I'm going to have him come down, pull all these posts, and then we're going to roll this fence up. Wasn't a cloud in the sky this morning when I was milking cows. And then I looked out and saw about 15 planes with a bunch of jet wash. Just like that one, and just like that one, and now this is what we got. I don't think this wagon's gonna have another year in it. This thing, it's starting to get pretty beat up. You can see the boards are breaking on the sides and whatnot. This was just an old silage wagon I got from a friend of mine. They used it for silage back in the day, and it was sitting out in their pasture, and so I took it and I've been using it as a hay feeder. But and it works okay, but I need to buy one of those pull behind like SI or Apache hay feeders is what I need to do. I forgot he's got a dentist appointment he's got to go to, so he'll be back here in a little while. And it's beautiful out today. It almost feels like spring. The birds are chirping. The sun's coming out. There's no breeze at all. It's nice. It's warm. All this snow is going to be gone in no time. I had to run down and close this gate quick. I forgot this was open. This fence, as you can see, this post has gotten jacked up, but this fence, I haven't decided yet. These are all just T-posts, steel T-posts with just electric wire. I've thought about putting a permanent fence in here, but I don't know that it's necessary. I am planning on putting some wood posts and making this a permanent or semi-permanent fence up here on top of this terrace, but I don't know. But this one definitely needs some attention. I gotta replace a few of these posts and some of the insulators. I put this fence in probably 10 years ago and I haven't really done much with it, so it needs a little attention in the spring. Anyway, these ladies are out here. They should have enough to eat out here. I'm gonna throw a couple square bales up in their feeder in the lot too, so they got plenty of feed. Well, since little man's gone, I went ahead and pulled all these posts. I'm gonna roll this up real quick. And then we gotta run back up and feed a bale of hay to the dry cows. This little manger I built's actually working really well. It works great for these calves. I'm sure it'll work good for cows when and if I ever have them in here, but it is really handy being able to feed them right here. What do you think, Prince? What's up, big boy? So far this feeder's working really good. It is, I mean, I guess you could say it's kind of a pain that I got to clean it out, but that's not necessarily the feeder's fault. This hay, there is a lot of junk in this hay. It's actually, this is the stuff I cut that was on that foxtail grass mix down there. So there are some little bit of weeds and some less desirable material in here, but there still is a lot of grass. Obviously you can tell they've eaten a lot of it, but this real semi stuff, they're not going to eat that. So I'm just going to get in there and fork it out real quick. It's light, so it's really not that big a deal. One downfall is they can't reach in all the way. Obviously they can get around the outside, but in the center toward the back they can't reach in there all the way, so they do leave a little bit of hay in there. So I do have to get in with the fork and kind of push it around so they can get to it. All right, this is the mess we got. I didn't record much of this because I wanted to get this done. Anyway, this is what we got going on. So there's a tank in the ground right there. It's like 300 gallons. When I did this project, I did not realize how much water I was going to use in that parlor. That was just a massive oversight on my part. We go through about 100 gallons a day, roughly, is what we use in water. So this tank, and I had a small lateral field here, filled up. I mean, it lasted 6 months, and the lateral plugged, and then I've been pumping the tank, and I got to pump the tank every couple days. So anyway, long story short, this, you know, manure, the water, everything coming out of the barn is liquid gold. It's fertilizer. So what I decided to do is we dug a pit over here and put a lagoon in, and I'm just putting a 4-inch drain pipe out to the pit is what I'm doing here. So anyway, that's what we got going on here. You can see the pipe right there that's coming out from underneath for the plumbing. So I'm about done here tonight because I got to get ready to start doing chores, but I just got to cut that. I got a Fernco fitting that's going to go right on there, and that's a 3-inch pipe. I got a Fernco that's a 3 to 4 reducer, so we're going to go to a 4-inch pipe, come out of there, 45 over to here, 45 again over to here, 45, and then we're going to go straight out to the pit. What I did here, we had an excavator, but I had to take it back to my buddy. It rained and then it snowed, and I wasn't able to get this done in time, and so he needed his machine back, so I gave it to him. Anyway, what I did was I know I'm not supposed to be using my skid loader, but I got to get this project done. So anyway, I got that stump bucket, this narrow stump bucket, and I used that and just used that to dig the trench. It's about 100-foot run, so I didn't put a clean out in it because I got a snake that I can use if I ever need to on this. But there's a clean out right inside the milk house. And then, you know, this end's going to be open down here, so I figure if it does get plugged and I ever need to clean it out, I can either run it in this end or run it in the other end. And so this is the pit that I dug. So everything will drain down into here from the barn, which is nice. And then my plan is to pick up this should be able to get me through the winter until spring. I mean, this should be able to hold 6,000-7,000 gallons pretty easy in here. Plus you figure some's going to soak into the ground, and so this should be plenty to get me through till spring. And then my plan is to buy an old manure tank or a honey wagon and a manure pump. And you can, I've been watching Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, and you can find those honey wagons and those old manure pumps, the smaller ones. You can find those for, I mean, I think right now there's one on Facebook up in Wisconsin or Minnesota that's a 2,500, I think it's a 2,000 gallon tank. It's a 1,500 to 2,000 gallon tank with the pump and with a pump on the tank, and then it's also got the manure pump that you use to drop into the lagoon. And I want to say it's like 1,200 bucks or 1,500 bucks in working condition, they say. So you can pick those up pretty cheap because now nobody wants that smaller stuff anymore. All right, so it's the next day. I ran out of daylight yesterday, but like I said, I used that skid loader with the narrow stump bucket and just kind of made my line, straddled the trench, and took a string line, painted a line, used that stump bucket to kind of dig the trench, I guess, and break the soil up. And then I came through with a shovel and just dug it out by hand. It really wasn't that hard. But anyway, I got those are some bridge planks I threw across there so I could get the four-wheeler across this morning. But anyway, I got to looks like some of the trench fell in down here, so I'm going to go back through with the shovel, just clean this out, and then I'm going to start throwing pipe in and get my level on it and make sure we've got a 1/4 inch the bubbles touching the line. At least we need a 1/4 inch fall per foot. All right, well, I got it all connected, and I'm just doing this main stretch. Excuse me, I'm doing this main stretch. It's going pretty quick. This over here actually was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. That's the 3-inch that comes out of that's actually a Y right there. So it Y's over and then it goes 90s up to a clean out, and then that's where the sink ties in, and then it goes straight in to the rest of everything. But this is that Fernco. For those of you that don't know, Fernco fitting, it's a brand, but it's just a rubber fitting. But that worked out great right there. And then we just 45'd it around here. Nice smooth bends. We got plenty of fall here. The only thing I got to watch out for is this is going to settle. I know it is. So I'm not going to I'm going to bury the trench, but I'm going to leave this open for now. And I might lightly pile some dirt over it, but nothing too heavy because this will settle. I know it will. I crushed that tank, filled it in, and by next spring we get some rains and whatnot, this will settle. So I don't want this moving at all, obviously. And it's only about 4.5 feet or so right here, so it shouldn't, maybe 5 feet, so it really shouldn't move much anyway. Beans that will be solid here and will be solid there. Either way, I just don't want to fill it in. So we're going to keep moving. I should be done here fairly soon with this, and we'll run some water down it and make sure she works good. Just in time, the troops are coming up. And we have water. That is a wonderful feeling. As you can see, I was a little bit short. I wanted to run this out about another 3 feet. I don't want it to cut a trench here and undermine back here, so I'll probably buy another stick and extend this out 3 or 4 feet, something like that. For now, that'll work just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and backfill this just a little bit. I'm not gonna backfill all of this, but I am gonna get some of it filled. And there's a few low spots underneath the pipe that I gotta go through and make sure I get, like right here, actually there's a spot right there. I gotta get some dirt put under that pipe. But that's gonna do it for this one. Thanks for coming along, guys. We appreciate it. This is another project to check off the list. I'm pretty excited about this. I was stressing pretty good about getting this done, because pumping that tank out every day, every other day, that's just way too much, especially with colder temperatures and things like that. So next thing on the agenda is going to be getting back on the cattle barn and trying to make some headway on that and get that lean-to wrapped up. The calves have been using it and the manger's working great, but I need to get that all wrapped up so I can move on to some other things as well. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, go back and watch the last video. That'll kind of fill you in on what's going on there. So anyway, you guys take care. Thanks for the support, like always. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. You guys take care. We'll see you in the next one.